So over the past few weeks, I've been back on the Battlefield 4, flying a lot of jets, flying a lot of helicopters as well, and trying to get a little bit back to how I was before I quit the game for 2042. And it's been a really good time overall. In this game today, we're just going to try flying out the Q5 Fantan on Hade Resort and see what we can do. So just starting out, killing lavs, killing boats, and attempting to kill infantry. I don't know where that J-Dam went. And we have a lav here. Should be going for that soon, just waiting for my flares to come back. I'm using the flares, J-Dams, and stealth coating today. It's a really good loadout, and I find it to be a pretty good medium between aggressive farming with the flares, and the J-Dams are good for killing vehicles. Can use Hydras, but I find that using J-Dams is just as good. You can use the cannons against infantry. I find when I use Hydras, sometimes my team gets put in spawn because I'm just not really doing my job. I mean, your job as a jet is to kill the vehicles. That's what you should be doing, and if I just focus on infantry, I'm not really doing much. Pull up behind these two jets here. Aim isn't quite as good against air vehicles as it used to be. I mean, we've hit most of our shots there, but you'll see a lot of moments in this video, I think, where we won't be hitting all the shots. Other jet was bailed, but we just get the vehicle destroy anyway. Extra points. If you want to be really tactical, you probably leave that jet alive, but just get the war crime. That was one of the parachuters from the jet, I think. And we got a boat here. Boat's always my favorite thing to kill. They can have so many people in them. They usually do, actually. That one only has one person, but we get the guy that bailed out. And now there's a lav below. I have my flares up, so no reason not to, so we'll go down straight for that. And it's a lav down. Really nice having lavs that don't have APS. Got a Suave in the sky. Those are becoming more and more common lately. They're so dangerous, actually. It's lav repairing. Try to catch him out. Yeah, he wasn't ready for that. Get this guy, and then try to swing the J-Dam on the last one. My J-Dam didn't drop, maybe? I'm not sure. That felt like it would have hit if I actually got it to drop. Jet behind me, it's only an attack jet. And yeah, I'm actually keen to know in the comments, guys, do you mind the BF4 content coming back? I'm assuming people will be alright with it. But I know it's a pretty old game, but at this point, like, 2042 could have been really, really bad and I still would have stuck with it. It's just, it's a level above what anyone could have expected. That game is just a mess. So, I've been having more fun with this, really. I do like the infantry combat in 2042. That's probably the only redeeming thing about it. But the vehicles are just so brain dead. I feel like anyone can use vehicles in that game to a pretty high level, actually. It's not hard at all to do well. Whereas Battlefield 4, you had to really work and try to get better, which is the fun part about it. Just threading the needle under that scout heli there. We got a boat up as well. And I should go for this boat here. Everything's feeling more and more natural though. It's really, really fun just getting back into this game. There's the boat down. And we've got an infantry. This is why I kind of prefer the J-Dams, because I like using the 30 mils. They're actually really strong. It's like a 3 or 4 hit kill. So if you can get good with those, you can get a kill with 30s, and then you can get a kill with the J-Dam, which is about the same as what you get with a good Hydra run. Usually Hydra run's only 2 kills apiece, so it's not like you're missing out on much. And what you get is right that. Like, being able to kill a lav in just a split second is absolutely insane. He could have been on 49 health, it doesn't matter. You can just take out a chunk of it with that J-Dam. Moving on this lav now. I'm expecting an APS. He doesn't seem to have it. So another free kill for us. And the habit I'm building back again the quickest is checking my map all the time. That's a Battlefield 4 habit which is really, really important. If I was to give one piece of advice to a jet pilot or a heli pilot specifically, it's to check your map all the time. In tanks it's pretty important as well, but especially in those air vehicles it really matters because you can get to those targets. Like if you see a tank across the map and another tank, then you can't drive across the map and kill it. But if you're in a jet, it's 3 seconds of flying and you're right there. So really important to stay on top of your map. I would chase down that stealth jet there, but no flares, and so you gotta be careful around here. Could have been a soft lamb knocking me. Gonna go for this rib boat. Aim's a bit off here. Can get there eventually. And often when I'm strafing near their spawn, if I am strafing a still target, I'll go into third person, just to watch out for TVs and stuff. As I say that, there's a boat up. If that boat was up while I was strafing, or if it just spawns, it will launch a TV. Now, this is an intentional kind of play to tank the missile. I could have flown further out and flared it, but then I wouldn't be able to strafe the boat. So I'd rather take the missile and then fly at the boat, and then when I get locked, I flare again. Like, that's an easy play to make. You do get a little bit lower health, and I could die to the boat. And here's a prediction shot right here. That was a really good prediction, and now we're going to flare and kill this. I've really been enjoying the flares though, they're super strong. If you're just flying a pub without much good competition, I would say flares are better than an ECM. But if you have a lot of competition and you have to stay alive, then the ECM is just too good. Takes you off the radar, really, really helpful. Should be an easy enough JDAM here, sacrificing a little bit of the guns to get the JDAM on. And we've got an AA, so I'm going to do a quick pull up here. So that looked like a natural turn, right? He couldn't tell that was a JDAM, so he didn't even know that was coming unless he spotted the bomb. And now that he's mobility killed, it's just another JDAM and he's dead. So drop that one, pull up, and he's dead. To be fair, he can counter that by repairing, but he didn't think of it. This guy's put up APS, I'll try to get the kill. Unfortunately, I was out of JDAMs. I guess I just used them both. Gonna pull up under radar on this attack jet. If you fly below a certain height, they can't see you on the radar. To be fair, I don't think that guy's checking the radar anyway. And we've had pretty good time in the sky so far. I think my stealth jet is decent, so always helps. Get a JDAM on that guy. Couldn't get the cannons to connect, something like that. And just looking back towards the spawn for the boat. So, because my team has C, the next biggest threat is a stealth jet and the boat. So looking that way will let me know if either of those are up. But I do try to keep a bit of a timing in my head. If you want, you can use the game clock that you see on the left. And you can just time out 90 seconds for all the vehicles, but honestly, it's not really worth it. I just play this game to have fun these days. Should be able to get the lab here. 66 damage on JDAM. Or not. My JDAM wasn't ready. I do that a lot. I probably should start switching to my JDAMs more often and checking if they're ready or not. But not a habit I have yet. Maybe I'll have to build it in. I think that was an AA mine. Yeah, it was by the amount of health it did. So I was ready for a missile, but I wasn't ready for an AA mine. They're so strong, those things. In my opinion, AA mines and UCAVs, two things that the game doesn't need at all. I know it sounds a bit biased as an air player, but AA mines should be used defensively, but they're actually used very offensively. Like, someone will run at you and just drop it down at their feet. It's super annoying, but I guess air vehicles are pretty strong, so you need some counters here and there. Looks for infantry to kill, couldn't see anyone, just slang a JDAM at that guy. And now we have the attack jet up. I like to do a little bit of damage in the head on if I can, but if they turn towards you, just pull out. No point ramming it. Attempts to get the kill here. It's very, very hard to shoot a free foil out. You have to have really, really smooth tracking on them and good prediction. Because I'm being locked here, I'll try to wait till he passes me, then do like a split S towards the sky. Because while he can't lock me anymore, his friendlies on the ground can. I risk it a little bit to get that guy, but it's kind of worth it. Just get rid of him. And now we see the parachuter, so I'll try to get a war crime right here. Just see him. And I really whiffed there. That was some pretty bad shots. They used to be super easy, those shots. I used to find them really, really easy. And now after coming back, it's a bit rough. We'll get there though. Still having a really good game here. Straight on the boat. Sometimes when I think the boat sees me, I tilt the jet left and right while I'm strafing. I feel like that can kind of confuse them and make them think I'm about to pull off, but I'm actually just staying. It's just little like movements that will play with their mind a little bit. Because at the end of the day, the TV missile is pretty much about reading what the enemy is going to do. Against good players, you really have to get a good read on them. Thought I'd be able to clean that one up, but unfortunately got taken by the teammate, and there's not much for us to shoot at. I'm just checking the map looking for infantry around E, and I have found a bit of it. Try to get this guy. Unfortunately, I wasted a JDAM there, but I'd rather make sure I get the kill than don't get it at all. And even when I'm just farming, I'm still trying to keep my speed at 313 when I'm turning around. It's just a drill, like a little practice drill basically. Just to make sure that you keep practicing that speed control. It's really important. And here's a risky play here. Wait as long as possible on the flares, turn around, pop it late, and then go back for the guy that shot it at you. That time it paid off, but it can easily go wrong. Especially the fact that I just flew into 2 jets. Gotta pull up behind these guys. There's... Never mind, I thought I was gonna get one there. Yeah. Didn't get the kill for that one, and the stealth jet crashed. Anyways, looking back towards E, that's where most of the infantry is. Of course, my job is to kill the lab though. I find you'll honestly have the best time farming if you run JDAMs for that reason. You get the team into these situations where, you know, I have the enemy team coming from 2 flags. They're either going to be from D or E. And that's because I've killed so many vehicles and they're stuck in spawn, as well as our lab Life BD is a pretty good player, so he's definitely taking care of them as well. But if you can get them into these situations where your team has the upper hand, they're going to be weaker and easier to farm in the first place. Whereas if you're running Hydras and the enemy team is good, you might just get put in base and you have a really rough round. Whereas their team has no chance of even like retaking the AA, for example. I just think the JDAMs are the master race. They're really, really good. A lot of tankers think they're overpowered. Fair enough, they kind of are. The amount of burst damage you can do is so much. JDAMs have been really good today. See if we can follow up with this lav here. There you go. Quick reaction on the AA mine and just getting out of the range real quick, but also keeping an eye on the infantry down below. Now they're taking C. And there's a boat just heading out here. Let it get out of spawn a little bit and kill it. Doesn't really make much of a difference, but this server does not like spawn killing, so you let them get out a bit. This guy didn't want to even leave spawn, he was just sitting there. And we got an attack jet too. I just don't think the attack jet's going to fly for very long. I think he's going to bail it, so I'm going to let him be. While I'm flying away, I may as well shoot it in a bit though. Try get this kill here. Again, just no luck with that one. Might try and get a war crime real quick. Or killing a parachuter. It's more important that I kill the stealth jet though. That's my biggest threat in the game, so try hit that up. And unfortunately he rams my friendly there. If my aim was a lot better, I would have been able to clean that one up, but especially tracking fast targets, it's pretty bad right now. Fortunately, that guy went in the water. Couldn't get him. Gonna check the roof real quick. No one up there. Check D. Guy spotted. Should be an easy enough kill. And his mate. I considered going back in, but I didn't flare late enough. I could have done it if I kept an eye on the... Sorry, we just got to chat. Still not getting banned, you cheating AJ. So he thinks the attack jet's cheating, but obviously we're not. Got my boy Only CW in the chat. I don't actually know him, but he's defending me, which is nice. We'll get this boat real quick because he's launching TVs from spawn. This is what I mean though. This server does like ban if you spawn camp, right? But that boat is allowed to just sit there and then shoot a TV, and then he's legal, but the most lethal TV is always the first one, which is why I encourage you to try and keep a track of when the boat's going to spawn. Otherwise, it can get that first TV off and it can be game over for you. I mean, TVs aren't actually that hard to hit these days, especially on a jet that's strafing without knowledge of your position, so gotta be careful for him. Fortunately, I eat the AA mine there, but we're gonna get away just fine. Had plenty of speed. And I do see the stealth jet, so I put it directly away from me. But as soon as I noticed that he was going up and I get my flares back in time, I'm gonna fly towards him. Try and hit the shots. I hit plenty of shots there. My wingman hits a bunch as well, and we're looking good. Gonna go for the attack jet now. Managed to connect most of my shots there, which is nice. And now like D and C are like the main places, but just saw these guys on the map. And I really blundered that, to be honest. I should have been able to get at least 2, but that's okay. Sometimes you make mistakes. See a few guys spotted on D, but I see my boats there as well, so I think he'll farm them up, to be honest. He's a decent boat driver, I think. Try to get this guy. 30 mils took a little bit to converge there, but... And I'm pretty positive that lock is from D, but there's a lav up, so I probably should go for that. After I try and get some of these roof kills. That JDAM was never going to hit. My angle was too shallow. I mean, it probably could if you had the perfect shot, but I didn't. This guy's backing up, so you know he's got no APS. Gonna go for that kill, and there's a boat as well. Boat's already shot a TV, so it's time to get him dead. The thing I love about this Fantan is that it doesn't really take much damage from the base AA, which sounds like a weird little thing to like about the jet, but it makes such a big difference. You can play really aggressively, and it's not like I'm spawn camping all the time, but in the jet you just do tend to be close to the enemy base quite a lot, because enemies do shoot at you from the base, so you have to take care of them. Also, enemy jets will sometimes try to bait you over there, using the base AA to help them. I do it as well against stealth jets. In that situation, it's really useful. Just tank the shots. Same with the F-35, it's really solid against that. It's just a small jet. It doesn't take much damage. You can fly it really, really aggressively, whereas the A-10 you have to fly it a little bit more, a little bit slower. It's fun to fly that one as well, though. And the game's nearing a close right here. We're really kind of dominating this team at this point. And that's one of the issues with running JDAMs. I find that you have a lot of these are one-sided games, but at the end of the day, I mean, the objective of the game is to win, so if you're doing that, I guess it's not a bad thing. So I was trying to flare late there, but that missile came at me way too fast. I think it was an Igla. Potentially a relocked Igla, I'm not sure. Definitely an Igla though, you can tell by it going out of range there. Anyways, the game is coming to a close now. I hope you all did enjoy. It's a really, really fun time being back in the attack gen on this game. After all these years, I thought I'd get bored of it, but to be honest, it's one of the more fun gaming experiences and my favorite way to play Battlefield 4. Anyways, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, sub, like, whatever, leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.